Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the CPA-fol podcast. Boy, am I so excited for this one. I know I've been hyping this up for a bit just because Delusion Brick, of course, he's hanging out in the queue. He's in the background. He's not live just yet, but we are waiting for this, and I'm so excited. I do have to admit, I did watch the Goonies for the first time ever a couple weeks ago. I think it was 2 weekends ago. So I know the drill. I know the bit. I kind of know what it's all about now. And I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot of people in chat who know of all about the Goonies and can kind of school me on it a little bit, teach me up. I know, of course, Delusion Brick is a huge Goonies fan. So he's going to be able to teach me a lot as well. Here, let me turn this music down. It's probably a little too loud. That is way too loud. Okay. So, last week, we're coming off just a lot of fire episodes week after week. Last week we got the D&D sets early last week. Whew, that was a lot of fun. Those CMFs were absolutely amazing. Just so much fun. I'm so glad to have pick those up early, open those up with Mrs. CPA. She's a huge D&D fan, so I got a little insight myself. But let me check out chat real quick, and then I don't want to waste too much time. So as soon as Delusion's ready to go, we'll hop back in, or I'll have him hop in, and we'll kind of just get rolling on this thing, just because, you know, we've been waiting. If you remember, this challenge from the LEGO Ideas program became live back in April, end of April. I think it was the last week of April is when the projects were submitted. Of course, there was a little bit of drama with him having two submissions selected, and so it was a little bit of like, all right, do we totally reset the program? What do we do with this whole thing? Because practically the LEGO Ideas program, they made a little oopsie. They picked two when they should have only picked one from him. But, I mean, here we are, over 4 months later, and we're ready. We're ready for it. So it's just super exciting to be here several months later, as we've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting for this moment since I made that video. But the Goonies hype is absolutely real. And I myself didn't quite know how deep the fandom is. So it's amazing, and I'm looking forward to talking with Delusion about that and just everything. In the chat, of course, go crazy if you have questions about the design or his design process or what kind of inspired him specifically. Feel free to drop those in chat. We'll be able to answer those, all the questions he's able to be answered. We'll get to those certainly. So if Delusion, if you're ready to go, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Nope, not quite yet. So chat real quick. Yeah, so Cool Han says, what happened at 9:30? That was going to be the initial plan. Unfortunately, we had to push it back. As you can see around me, I have a different background than I normally have. I'm out of town for the Labor Day weekend. I'm at the in-laws this weekend, so I unfortunately don't have the normal locale that I typically have. So this is what we're dealing with now, and I think it's working. I think it's fine. So if you have any problems, you can take that up with Mrs. CPA, because I'm doing this for Mrs. CPA. And of course, it's always great to see Justin in chat. I know you were gone for a little bit, but you've come back, and it's great to see you in chat for the last 2 weeks. Super awesome. Of course, Liam Brick the Bed, huge Goonies fan, it seems like. So I'm very excited to hear all of the Goonies hype. And yeah, Justin, it sounds like you and I are kind of on the same page. We weren't necessarily huge Goonies fans from the start, but we've kind of turned into appreciators of the fandom, which I think is always a good thing, to be able to appreciate what others adore. Waterleaper says, wonder if they ever do a 90s competition, or maybe within a range of older decades like the 30s to the 50s. That would be impressive. I mean, I literally the hype that this little challenge had, I say little challenge had, is been absolutely amazing. The fandom, I feel like the Lego fandom has received this challenge with open arms, and it's just been overall a great experience. So for them to just not do anything would be a little silly. I feel like it only makes sense to do even more in the future. And let's see, Stud Lake, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to not open Discord up on this laptop because I don't want to mess up anything. If you wouldn't mind posting that link in the ACOB Discord for anyone else who wants to join, you can say it's from CPA. That would be awesome. Actually, I could probably just go ahead and do it on my... Nope, I can't do it on my phone. But Studlake says, shout out to CPA for successfully watching a classic movie he said he would. And I think I watched it. Yeah, so it was on a Thursday where the ACOB stream was. And then literally the next day on a Friday, I watched it. So what can I say? I am a man of my word. I don't always watch movies, but when I say I will watch them, 110%, I will watch them without regard. Let's see. Also, something to consider. We are running right up to the September 1st drop. Tomorrow, actually, if you're not seeing sets early in stores, which ironically, D&D is the only one that I'm not seeing. D&D is the only one that I am seeing. So it's kind of interesting where we're at with these, which I know in the past we've had somewhat of an issue with stuff coming early. Kind of an issue in a good way, of course. We want stuff to drop early. It's always better when they drop early. But I'm curious if anyone in chat is seeing any sets early. Liam, I don't want to spoil anything, because we're gonna talk about it on the stream. We're gonna talk about it on the stream, and I don't want to necessarily spoil anything with what's coming. So we'll let you know. I'll let you know in the chat once if I enjoyed it or not. And of course, Anger Canadian, thank you for dropping in. Always great to see you. Halfway around the world, tuning into the CPA-fol podcast. Always a great thing. Okay. I think we're almost ready. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to go? Delusion? We're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead, unmute everything. How are you doing today, my friend? Or should I say tonight?
Hello. I have a little problem for my internet, and this is terrible moment because we fix everything and I running up, and sorry about that.
Well, it sounds like everything has fixed itself, has resolved, and we'll find out, I guess.
Yes, I believe because it's not my fault. It's...
Yeah. Well, you know, as well as hopefully the chat, we're pretty chill here. If something happens, we can, we'll just chill and we'll fix it as we go along. I don't mind doing a little on the fly fixing. So, but yeah, no, how's it going? How you feeling? You've known this for about, when did they announce it? On the 19th. So it's been, around 10 days, week and a half or so? Has it been like high since you found out a week and a half ago, or I guess a little longer to sign the papers and all that stuff? But tell us how you're feeling right now.
I feel so wonderful. It's the feeling. It's incredible. I don't have the right word to describe. It's special. It's because I am on community 8 years, and I try hard. I have a lot of submission. Yep. I do something like that because when you try and when you chase this thing, you have many thoughts on your head. How can make it? I make it with this. Mm-hmm. And now, if you ask me, the Goonies is the, even if someone before 8 years tell me, okay, Vangelis, you win with your winning model. It's the Goonies set. I tell you, no, it's too much. It's
It's
too
not
much.
happening. Yeah.
Let it happen.
But no, oh my goodness. And that's actually perfect segue to the first thing that I wanted to talk about, because I imagine most of the people in my chat, of course, we did have a stream a long time ago, I think, when we were looking over some of your early Lego ideas from to the traditional program, and
Yes,
maybe
yes.
even to the designer program, looking at some of those. But I would imagine some of my current chat and some of the current viewers aren't quite as familiar with some of your work. So we definitely want to kind of start through looking at some of your designs, just talking about some of your designs and kind of discussing what brought you to creating the Goonies. And I think kind of along that same line, one of the first ones was the Karate Kid set.
Yeah,
Was that not one of your first or the
yeah,
first design?
yes. When I put this project, he hit 10,000. I think 1.5 month. It's too fast.
So
I
fast.
do I do I do not do nothing. When I put it, he ran at home.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's absolutely crazy. And I think, unfortunately, the internet may have bitten us. We'll see if he comes back.
Yes, yes,
I think he's back. I think the video is still working its way. So
yes.
let me refresh it real quick. Oh, there you are. Sweet. And once again, no worries. Don't stress about it. We'll figure it out as we go along. But back to the Karate Kid. You said it was in a little over a month is when it popped in.
It's like a month and a half, something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but I share it just once, and he go like crazy, like
Mm-hmm.
super fast, and it has a lot of popularity. This project, even now, because they put it again in the in the final five. They put it out, but it's okay. A
Yeah.
different.
And that's definitely something we'll talk about a little bit to the extent that we can. But some of your other designs, you've had several sets that have made it to 10K. I think actually, if I just pull up your profile on the Lego Ideas page,
Okay.
you have 4 10K projects,
Yes.
5 5K, 6 1K supporters. And so it's just fascinating to look over the breadth of your work and kind of see what's hit, of course, with the Karate Kid being one of the first ones or the first one. And then I remember when kind of our story when we first met was when my friend and I were going over the wave where you had your Spartan helmet of Leonidas and
Yes.
then the
Yes.
tailspin
Yes.
sets. So like some of those being submitted, it's really cool to see kind of your design history and where you started and now where we're at several years later, for me a little over a year later. Anything from those designs that you want to kind of bring out first? Of course, like I said, the Spartan helmet, tailspin, like anything that you want to bring out from those to talk about real quick?
To be honest, I love the Sparta helmet. It is usually I don't work with a small design
Mm-hmm.
because not it's I don't like the small design. I buy a small set, but I want to design every time a big design because the talent it's difficult, and I love to have difficulty on my design.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to design with a lot of bricks because I prefer that.
Yeah,
The Sparta helmet, it is an exception, but I love it. I love it.
absolutely. And then kind of moving on to your tailspin, which was a huge footprint.
Yes, yes.
Unfortunately, that one didn't get selected as a finalist, but like bringing it back to your design process, how you feel your skill as a designer has evolved over the past couple years, or can you point to any specific like instances in these designs where you say, yeah, that was something I tried new that I'm proud of, or that was something that I continue to work on? Any kind of design aspects like that?
Actually, the only design I believe, even now, it's a Karate Kid from my past design, and I believe a lot on this design, on the Karate Kid. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
usually I don't use my old design and resubmit. I do. I try to do every. I try to design a new ones
Yes. Yep.
because I prefer to not reuse my design because not I don't believe it, but for me it's like the cheating, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
But the Karate Kid, I believe it still now, even now. I don't know if I try again. I have
Mm-hmm.
an idea for this set, a different idea, a better and clever idea about the Karate Kid. I mean, but I must design from the start. But it's not this time I do it.
Yep. And that's certainly something we've talked about a lot, which is
Yeah,
I guess in a way, your design philosophy with how you approach these programs. And yeah, just that if you're going to resubmit something, it has to be different and better in some way to where you as a designer can look at it and say, yeah, this is something I'm proud of, and this is something that I want my name attached to, essentially, which is really awesome, of course.
I believe at the years you must how I tell you must improve yourself. So
Exactly.
the design is something like that. You must
Yep.
design again and again, and I try to fit a better idea, a better idea. This is the path.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And kind of bringing back to, I think was it your first grand prize was the Andromeda Galaxy?
Yes, this for this set I'm very proud.
Yep. Yeah, and because you mentioned there were a lot of tough design aspects for this set that you really had to grapple with because and it's on the screen for our viewers.
Yes,
Those lines are the flexible tubes, I
yes,
believe, is what they are. So to kind of get those to work in this design was not an easy thing to do.
at all.
Yeah.
Actually, when I have this idea, I try to do something with an art with an art feeling. And this is my first and the only project I approach like this, like an art. And when I use the flexible tubes, as you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, I try to. I have in my mind how it is like you drawing, like free drawing,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
like that, something like that. The dynamic of the drawing, and I believe I achieve it with this design. And this technique, it's. I'm very proud because it is mine. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see something else. It's very unique.
Yep. No, absolutely. And hey, because was this one voted on, or was this straight up the Lego Ideas team selected?
No, no, it's selected. It's my
Selected.
first. Usually, I don't go with a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like it. I usually work only with a 10K vote,
Mm-hmm.
but the history, the moment it's with the challenge, I win with a challenge, not
Yeah.
with a.
Hey, and it paid off, and it worked. And out of curiosity, was there a prize for this one? Is it because this set? I don't think this one is going to be on shelves
No,
retail
no, no, no,
anywhere.
no, no. The
Okay.
price it's usually a different set of Lego, like
Yep.
all the challenge. The challenge it's not winning. It does not have the purpose to put out a product. Not,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but is small exception like mine, like D&D, Danger and Dragons. I mean, they
True.
put it. They put it out.
Yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense. So all of that over all those years, bringing us back to the Goonies.
I'm old, and you are young.
Walk us through, because obviously for you, the uh, the Goonies is very near and dear to your heart with the movie. Walk us through, like, did you grow up with this as a kid? Is this something you recently found? Have you always? And I know you love the '80s films. I know that's definitely your genre. I would say, is that your favorite
Yes.
genre by far?
Actually, this is the time of childhood.
Yes, yes. So that certainly helps. So kind of walk us through your attachment to the Goonies, how you how you fell in love with the Goonies.
Okay, okay. Actually, if you search back then, in my time, there don't exist many movies with adventure like now, like
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yep.
So the Goonies for our era, for my generation, it's something like how I say, something like Stranger Things, something like that.
Mm.
It's not, but it's something like that for us
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
children. Because if you do, you see the movie now? Do you know?
Yes. So I
Okay,
did. I watched it I think it was exactly 2 weeks ago yesterday. So
okay.
I have seen it.
And if you seen it, you realize how nice is the props, the cave, everything is a perfect quality, even
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was one thing that definitely impressed me with every time they went somewhere, it looked like a
Really.
new it looked real. It looked like a new place. It didn't look like, oh hey, they're around the corner from the other prop stage that they were
Yes.
using, but it looked very very real. And especially I can only imagine, because unfortunately I'm kind of saddened that I was watching this video through the views or through the eyes of an adult
Yes.
who, certainly my imagination is limited now that I'm older and more mature, blah blah blah, all that boring stuff. But seeing this as a kid, you're able to, I can only imagine, fill in any of the quote unquote gaps with your imagination. I imagine.
To be honest, if you realize to see that movie back then, and you living in a small village, and you see what the children do, you try to
Mm.
do itself with
Oh
with
yeah.
your with other boys. it's it's something like with your imagination, of course,
Yeah.
but the whole story and the Goonie story and this movie, it's very important. I read something
Oh no. The internet bites again. We'll get him back.
before
We'll
the
get him
Home
back.
Alone
Here we go.
movie. Go, okay, okay.
Yep. You're back.
This movie, okay, the Goonies movie and the Home Alone movie. It's two movie. I read this before 3 weeks, 3 months. I don't remember the actually the time. I read it's so important to the American history of movie. They
Mm.
put it in the library something of they put in the very important things.
Yeah. Yep. So the Goonies is in there, that
Yes.
library of like 100 most important films or something like that.
Something like that, and
Yeah.
with Home Alone
Oh,
also.
okay.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes. And about this movie, even now it works. It works about the quality of the props. And if you know what happened on this movie, the ship actually it's real. They built it.
The ship.
Yes, they built it.
Wow. I figured it was kind of like a false prop, if you will, like where
No,
they
no, no,
just
no, no. They
created the
built it.
face of it.
No, they built it.
So
They,
it theoretically could have floated in the ocean if they
I
put it in the
don't know
ocean.
if they float in because
Okay.
when you see it in the ocean, it's very easy to understand. It's a prop. It's something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but they
Full
built it.
scale. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Full
they
scale
built it,
ship.
and I know the director. He don't want to the boys to see it, and to see it only in
Mm.
the
Yep.
final. The first time they see the actor, it's the time where they fall for the in the water.
Hmm.
And the ironic is one of the guys they speak dirty like dirty language, and they cut it.
Oh no. Because it was his first time seeing it, so he was probably like, Oh, bleep, because it's so big, it's so massive, and I even now I'm kind of getting chills imagining being a kid rolling down this slide, falling into this pool, of course, and then seeing this massive ship,
A pirate
like
ship, a really
pirate
pirate
ship. It's like, well, we in the next scene we get to go on that thing. Like at
ship.
that point, they're not even acting; they're just having fun.
And actually, I read the story about this ship. They tried to sell it, but no one interested back then. And after they put it in Disneyland, I think something
Oh,
with the changes.
yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's really cool. So of course, and unsurprisingly so, this is so actually rewinding. So with the Goonies, not franchise, but with the Goonies fandom, have you been involved in the Goonies fandom since then, or did you kind of come steady back into it as you kind of grew into adulthood and maybe got back into designing, or when did you kind of re-enter the Goonies fandom itself?
Okay. For me to approach the Goonies, because in this, when I see this competition,
Mm-hmm.
I feel deep inside very connected to this competition. And it's the first time I try with three different design. One is the Karate Kid because I believe it's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
The other is the Labyrinth. It's an old movie, fantasy movie with a David Bowie, if you see it.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And the next is the Goonies. The Goonies, for me, from three projects, is more important for me, connecting to me.
Yep.
Okay. Because my father, it was a captain in a worldwide ship,
Hmm.
and my mother, he buy me pirate set, and I work for the with the companies for the movies and the TV shows. So if you connect my father Navy, my mother pirate, and me, you have the Goonies.
You get the Goonies exactly. Oh, that's funny. That's really cool, and it's perfect. It matches perfectly,
Yes, yes.
honestly. So, no, that's awesome.
This is the reason why they said me you win, and I realized I win with a Goonie set. For me, it's the perfect scenario of the winning. If I choose something, it's the perfect set I can win.
Mm-hmm. And even before you were saying if, like you said, if 8 years ago someone told me, "Hey, you're gonna design the Goonies set and win," like, no, you probably wouldn't have believed them that that was gonna be happening, which is just, it's funny how it works out. And like, I like how you described where it took all these aspects of your life from your parents, from your job, to all this stuff, and is boiled down into the Goonies set, which is also something that you love, which is
Actually,
really really
actually,
cool.
when I design, I try to put in purpose. It's not like I like and I design. No, it's not like me like Evangelis. I try to put something important in my design, a backstory
Mm-hmm.
of me. So for many design I have, even the submission, I can tell you a small story for each one.
Mm, that's awesome. That's so cool. And honestly, I feel like that makes it more relatable for everyone because we all have, all of us, I feel like have things, I hope have things in our life where we can point to and say, yeah, this is, and for most of us, it's probably Lego, where whether we built it with our siblings, our parents, grandparents, friends, it's just like, this is personal to me, it has a personal story to me, and that other people can certainly appreciate that, which is awesome. So going to the challenge with it was the 80s, if I can actually find it, if the 80s
Yes.
turn back time challenge.
Yes.
I'm gonna open up in a different screen. Did you kind of, just because I don't know personally, since I don't design in these challenges, I don't know how it kind of goes out to you as the designer. You got an email saying, hey, there's a new challenge out, design a set for the 80s turn back time? Is that basically how it happened, or did you kind of know this was coming along the pipeline?
No, no, no. It's you because you are a designer. You go in the Lego idea side, and
Mm-hmm.
you search what is new.
Yep.
Yes, many times they send me a message like, okay, we have a new challenge. But I see like when I see this challenge, I feel like I have something in my mind because
Mm-hmm.
about the Goonies, I want to say that I see many times Goonies submission. Not only this challenge, because I'm 8 years on the community, and I see this the Goonies submission. If you see any of this submission, even now, if you set the past submission of the Lego idea, it has a problem for me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is the problem? Many people design the caves, and the other people design the ship.
Mm-hmm.
No one. I must find the way how I blend it, and this is the strong thing I do with this idea. And actually, this is the root of the idea, because if you search all the past idea of the Goonies, because the community asked Lego many times, okay, where are the Goonies, where are the Goonies, where are the Goonies, and
Mm-hmm.
even many people they design Goonies, and I see the comment behind above the design. Many people on the Facebook, for example, say, "Oh, come on, guys, don't design Goonies. Lego, he don't
They're
put
not
out
big. Yeah,
Goonies.
they're
Yeah,
not big
don't
sellers.
make, can make, even mine. I have this comment. Come on, guys. Okay, it's nice, but Lego, he don't care about the Goonies."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
after the Goonies, I say, okay, for example, I have a comment and tell me, Evangelis, it's not happening. It's not happening. And I know I'm the winner. And I say, okay, maybe it's not happening.
You have to like smile and nod, like, yeah, oh, I guess it's not happening.
Yes,
Oh
yes, actually.
man, having to keep that secret locked away. And even to your point, yeah, there were several designs, and I have some of them on screen where we see. Whoops, I clicked on it. Didn't mean to. We see this person, they designed just the caves, and it's someone could look at it and say, well, it's the same design, but in reality, it's not because it doesn't tell the whole story. The whole story isn't the caves. That's kind of like the journey. But the
Yes,
ship, and this is me just kind of going off the fly, the ship kind of represents like the finality of their journey and reaching their destination. So just having the caves, it kind of it doesn't tell the whole story. And then you can kind of explain to us how did you think of, well, let's combine the two, because that's in my mind that just seems not impossible, but I guess just too big of a task to be able to achieve. So how did you get to the conclusion, I'm going to do both, I'm going to put them both together?
yes. This is actually I worked this project at night because in this uh, when the challenge come out from Lego, I have a lot of job. I have two jobs to do, and
Mm-hmm.
when I see, I tell myself, oh, it's impossible to do it because I have an idea, not exactly this idea. I can tell the full story now, but I work like from 1 midnight for 5 to 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 complete the Goonies uh, idea. And I have an idea and tell myself, okay, if I put the caves, like you mentioned, it's not the full story. But if I put the ship, actually, even that, it's not the story. Actually, the story of whole movie, it's the journey and the big reward, the ship. Both of these is the story.
Yeah. Yep.
So when I build it, first I must do I start to create the caves. Okay. When I create the caves, the first thing I have in my mind how I put the ship, how I put the ship.
Yep.
Because if I design something like this, my caves, and something like this, the ship, for me it's not work, and it's not a good idea. If you design a ship and try to put like a giant cave, it's not work because the bricks it's like 1 million. It's not work. Actually,
Oh
it's not
yeah.
work. It's not a product. So when I design it, I try to find, okay, this is the front of the caves. This is the adventure. The fourth minutes of the movie. It's the cave. It's the journey of the cave.
Yep.
So when I design and I turn my design, I see the back, and the back is empty. And when I see the back, I said to myself, I put the logo, the Goonies, at the back. My first idea. And when I put the Goonies, I remember when I put the letter, the word the,
With the
and
yep.
yes, I said to myself, no, 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 this is not good. I delete everything and I put something. I try to put a canon, and when I put the canon, the canon is small wood, I feel okay. Maybe it work with the ship now, and actually try to fit the ship. And when I see the cave at once and the one side of the ship at the other, I feel like, okay, this is good. This is strong.
Mm,
Okay, this is
mm,
clever, and I see how it works. And the 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 difficult part, it's not the back of the ship. Part it's very very difficult
mm-hmm.
how it works. But at the end, when I see it and realize from one side I have a playability set, and the other side I have a display set, I said to myself, okay, this is perfect. This is very strong.
It's
And I
literally
remember,
yeah,
and I
best of both
remember,
worlds.
sorry, and I remember when I put it in the when they allow in the competition this set. The first set, it's a set, I think it's the Thunder tank, if I remember well, with a
Mm.
many with the Thundercats vehicle. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
okay, and it's the most popularity design in the competition. And when I put mine in 1.5 days, it's
It's-
stuck in the first place at the end of the.
Because if I recall, you waited until the last day to submit the Goonies set, this
What?
design. Did you
Sorry?
wait until the last day that was allowed for the competition?
No, I think I put it in 4 days or 5 days
Okay.
before close, something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah. And it, like you said, it just pew shot right to the front.
In one day, the comment is extremely. It have the same impact like the Goonies, and I feel if I put this design like a vote in states, it have the same result. I believe
Yeah.
in 1 month, 2 months, the 10,000 vote.
Yep. Yeah. Like you said, if it hit a normal, if you submitted this to the normal ideas program, it would be straight to the
Yeah.
top virtually right away, which I have no doubt that would be the case.
Because I see many people from your country in America, they write me like, oh, the Goonies come out, the Goonies, wow, wow. And I realize how impact have
Mm-hmm.
in your country.
Yeah. Oh no, it's huge impact, and of course with people who grew up with this set, it's like I would say comparable to those that grew up playing Zelda, who are now super hyped about getting the Zelda Deku tree. Like this is the same thing for them, and it's like this is what I grew up with. I also grew up with Lego, still collecting Lego as an adult. This is what the people, this is what those people want. And the design, the conglomeration of the two is just absolutely perfect. And like you said, some sets had one, some sets had the other. This one, putting them both together, was just the cream of the crop, the best, the best, and the fans and everyone couldn't necessarily couldn't turn the other way and just ignore it. So absolutely amazing.
Thank
And I have heard some people say that because, like you said, it has the design, the display aspect, and it has the playability aspect with the other side of the caves. Do you think there's going to be a lot of people that will go out there and purchase two of them to be able to go side by side and have one
I
side be the play display? And because call it displayable side, or and then call it the play scale side or the playable side. People want to display both because it's the movie.
Yes, actually, I see a lot of comment, and they say I can buy both, and I can buy two, and I can create the whole ship. And the other guy create
Mm,
something else, and
yeah,
I believe yes, it happened. Many people they buy both and buy
yeah,
like two.
yeah. No, that'll be absolutely amazing to see what the fans can come up with it. Because of course you, as which I'm sure that'll be fascinating for you, because as a fan designer, this will be the first time you're in the shoes of a Lego designer, and
Yeah.
have you kind of thought of yet what it'll be like to see other people, what they'll be able to do with your design? Has that crossed your mind yet in this process?
Yes, actually, I want to see. I wonder
Yeah.
what happened. I wonder. I have this feeling when I win. I have lot of thought.
Mm.
What happened here? What happened? What happened now? Because for me, it's first time, and it's a very rare to win in the Lego ideas. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you see, the Lego idea program exists before 15 years, and now it has 57 set. I think 15. I don't remember. I think my set it's like 66 number,
The number. Yep.
66, and I see from Wikipedia Lego
Mm-hmm.
idea number, and if you realize 66 people in 50 years, it's nothing. It's
That's a
too
good point.
difficult, too difficult to win.
Yeah, and even yeah, actually, that's a really good point, because I was, you and I, we've talked about the Bricklink Designer Program quite a bit, and
Yeah.
we've talked about, and that's kind of looked at as like a little more prestigious in a way, but 5 people from every series get selected, and there's what, 3-ish series every year, so that's 15 sets per year.
Yes.
You're 60 sets in, would you say, 15 years? Like
Yes.
that's crazy. So
If you understand, in this last 2 months, Lego put out two sets from the Lego Ideas voting, and it's the chocolate factory of Willy Wonka, and the other is the
yes.
Italian Riviera. In the same time, after 1 week, it's my design, Goonies, and the other design the Gremlins. So we have
Mm-hmm.
four design from
Yep.
Lego Idea Program. It's too many. It's first time
Yeah.
if I remember it well, it's the first time they put out four design.
So maybe they're maybe they're biting off a little too much, a little bit. But hey, I mean, to that point, I wonder if that's going to push out the release timeline of these sets, because certainly they're not going to put 4 out there. Like, all these 4 certainly aren't going to be released in the next 2 years or whatever the timeline is. I'm not familiar with the normal timeline. So from my perspective, it'll be interesting to see. All right, 4 were just selected in the last month and a half, 2 months. Well, when are they going to put these? When in the timeline are each of those going to drop? Which will be fascinating for me to see, or for us to see and speculate.
I don't really I don't know what they
Mm-hmm.
put it, because I believe they have the big marketing team, and
Yeah.
they realize what they put
Mm-hmm.
out.
Yeah.
They know
Absolutely.
what.
Yeah. No. 100%. So let's flip. Well, I guess while we have it on the screen right now, I have it flipped to the ship side. Was there any tough parts in designing the ship side, or was it kind of a thing where once you kind of nailed down the scale and kind of the plank aspect of it, you had it figured out, and it was just a matter of time of putting all the bricks in place? or was there any kind of struggles that you ran into when designing the ship side?
Yes, the front part, it's difficult.
Oh, okay.
It's difficult because everything is diagonal, and
Mm.
it's difficult to find the solution how I put it and have the a strong design. How I tell the strong design impact.
Mm-hmm.
So the middle part it's easy because it's repeatable. If you
Mm-hmm.
see the back side, it's very important also because it's very nice, very unique.
Yeah.
But the front part, it's more difficult for me when I design because when I design, I don't know if it can make it to be nice. And when I put this is the most difficult part from whole design.
Oh
The
wow, the whole ship or the
The
whole
whole
set.
ship.
The whole
No,
set.
the whole set is the front part of the
Yeah.
ship.
Wow. Yeah. So how are you able to kind of say how you? It looks like, if I had to guess, you had a couple. I see some stacked plates right here, and then you had to hinge it right where it goes to the bow, so it's kind of hinged, and then it's straight out. And then I'm not familiar with what these pieces are, but was it kind of such a hinge design?
Actually, yes, it is. I try to put like a small axis from a technique and try a big part of diagonal, like to have the correct position. And after
Mm-hmm.
that, I put a lot of slope. I think I
Yeah.
don't remember the.
We'll get him back. Don't worry, chat.
I find to connect in the three.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. How connect the three? I connected in 3 points, two on the ship and one on the front of the ship.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So it's not like it's not gonna flop around anywhere. It's staying in place. It's not going
Yes,
anywhere.
yes, yes. I put technique part to help me
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
actually.
All right. So let's go around to the back, and we can just pretty quickly, I feel like, go room by room and kind of, I mean, the story kind of speaks for itself, and there's really, if you've seen the movie, which I recently have, so I'm a lot more familiar with the different rooms than I was before. Um, any unique struggles with any of these specific rooms, or was it kind of just an issue of, all right, I got to scale this, it's got to fit on the back of the ship? And actually, that's kind of a good point that I am kind of just now reaching is, did you, oh no, because you said at the beginning the backside was originally going to be the title, the Goonies, and then you switched to the ship. So how
Yes.
much reorganizing did you have to do with these rooms to make it fit the silhouette of the ship?
This is one of the difficult parts. Yes, the first one. I forget that. I forget that.
Yeah.
I can give you. Actually, when I see the movie, I remember the first place they start the adventure. It's the the old lighthouse. Bad guy have like the gang of
Mm-hmm.
the Fratelli have. So I have two decisions. What I put, if I must put the in the back, I mean at the back at the top of the ship, maybe I can put the one eye wheel room, the secret room, or it's better to put the Fratelli handout, the old one, the old lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to put the old lighthouse because it's the start of the story.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's important. If I change something, maybe I put a small room above of this, a small one, with a lot of skeleton and gold and pieces and like the small room of one I will, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't put it because I'm very tired. I'm not forget it, but I'm
Yeah.
tired and I left to decide if it win. I know Lego. design many things
Hmm.
about this.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know the fun story of the octopus? Because many,
S yeah. So someone actually just. I was originally confused because when I saw the movie, I was like, there was no octopus or kraken mentioned in the movie or scene. There was no kraken scene in the movie. So, but then someone mentioned to me that it was a deleted scene.
yes.
Was it not?
Yes, actually, what happened? I can tell you the story. It's a funny story because in the cinema cut, they don't have the octopus. But if I remember, they exist in old tapes and old videotapes
Mm-hmm.
who have this scene. And if you see the movie at the end, well, when the boys going in the beach and the reporter came and asked what happened, the I don't remember the name, the data character, the Chinese,
Yep.
they said they said this line, they exist in octopus because this line is from the deleted scene and
Yep.
they don't put it out.
Yep. They didn't take it out.
And the deleted scene, when they go to the water, when they from the sleep go to the water, the characters with the ship,
Hmm.
I mean, in this time they attack a giant red octopus. This
Okay.
is the and the reason I put it, if you see, I put it in a cave.
Hmm.
They don't the octopus don't have like a hole to escape.
Yeah.
It's like a trap because it
Yeah. It's like a trap because he was trapped in his deleted scene and wasn't able to. He's like
scene.
he's not able to reach any of the characters because he's stuck in his cave.
Yes, yes.
That's
Actually,
perfect. That's so cool. That's awesome. So yeah, like you mentioned, we start out in the lighthouse, and then it goes down to the basement with the sloth, with his Superman shirt on, which is awesome.
I
Um,
love sloth.
I know.
It's a mascot for the Goonies.
Oh yeah, yeah. It would be a shame if that doesn't make it to the final cut. I cannot imagine that would not be included in the final cut to have his name in
No.
there.
The Goonies it's sloth.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
Yes. Actually, yes.
And then of course the pipes scene where all the pipes burst, which is really cool. And I think do you mention you post in this video? Do can you go from each room to each room? And there's like a
Yes,
corridor, there's a
yes,
doorway, if you will.
yes.
Okay, I see it here when you split it out into modulars. Which side note, the modular aspect is super cool to this. And I imagine that makes designing it so much easier when you have it broken out into modulars
Actually,
or
yes.
harder.
No,
Makes it easier?
no. It is yes, and only not only that. Now everyone know Lego try to put a lot of books in the instruction, and it's better because, for example, um, now if we buy a big set with a different books who built a different area of the building, now you can able to build something with your family, with your friend, with your
Yes,
area.
yes,
It's better. It's
exactly.
better.
So each of these naturally has a different instruction or will likely have a different instruction booklet is what was what your expectation would probably be.
My expectation, yes, it's like something like that.
Yeah.
If it, I believe, if they build it like mine,
Yeah.
like a separate, I mean, area, because if it's big, and I believe it's big, at the end, it need to be like this to
Mhm.
split.
Yeah. 100%. I 100% agree with that. And it definitely would make the design the build process, excuse me, a lot better just because sitting down if I can only imagine if you're a big Goonies fan, you're building this set and it was all one big solid unibody design, it would be really difficult to to break away and say, all right, I'm going to save this for tomorrow. But
Yes, yes.
if you've got different sections, building this set will be so much more enjoyable because you're not doing 12-hour stretches of building or 6-hour stretches or whatever. You're doing like a couple hours
Yes,
each night.
yes. And actually, not only that, maybe for this case, you can put two of these caves in your bookcase, under and the other, for the decoration purpose. I mean,
Mhm.
it is better. It's more free. What you want to do it with
Absolutely.
separated caves.
And even as we flip around to back to the ship side,
Yes.
it would be super cool to put that in your bookcase. Is like you've got the ship on one end, a couple books, the other modular, a
Yes.
couple more books, and you can, as you step back, you can see the whole ship across all the books, which would be really cool as well to see it from that perspective.
Yes, I agree with you.
So yeah, it's just, man, that kind of brings us into the next talking point. Is Lego, of course, they have chosen, as we've talked about, they've chosen your idea of this. They haven't chosen your design per se. They've chosen your idea of having a ship with caves on one side, the ship on the other for the Goonies. What, with the Lego Ideas program taking this and then making it theirs, of course, my understanding is that you'll be working with them to help design the set. What are there any specific changes? And of course, if there's anything that you've already discussed with them that you can't tell, obviously, I don't want any of that information. I don't want to get you in trouble. But is there any changes that you would expect them to make? Are you worried about the size being constricted at all? Are there any fears you have in this process?
If you ask me, even now, I don't know nothing because it's very start.
Yep.
It started, and I don't know nothing about that. I believe even they scale down like 20%. It's good. Like 30% or 50%, it's not good.
Yeah.
I believe like a 50%, 20%, something like that. And it has the same design dynamic. If they keep it, if they keep scale down something like this, I mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they do because it is that I have a thought they put sales or not. I don't know. I don't know, but
True. Yeah.
it's start, and I don't have something. And even I have something, I don't know if I lie. I'm not allowed to tell,
Yes.
but I have a good feeling for the set, if you ask me, and I have good feeling because they know how important is the Goonie set, and how many years the fan waiting for this.
Yep, absolutely. And even as we look to the history of former sets in the Lego Ideas program, I think you mentioned this one is about 3,000 pieces exactly.
Yeah.
So as we look, and I have it pulled up to the side, the list of all the Lego Ideas program sets, the Dungeons and Dragons is a really good example. Some people think, oh, they don't make expensive Lego Ideas sets. Well, that's not exactly true. Of course, if I took all these prices, they probably would average like 150 or 100. But there's a lot of big ones. Dungeons and Dragons, the Orient Express.
If you
I
go
think
to
the most expensive one is the piano.
The piano, yes, the biggest one about the brick count, if I remember well, because I believe it's the Home Alone.
Oh,
The Home Alone idea is the biggest about the brick, about the bricks.
It is. Yep. Almost 4,000 pieces for $250.
The idea program, actually, it's not about the design. It's not like the brickling. It's about the idea.
Yep.
And so every idea they wanted, they redesign, because they need to be a legalized product. That's it.
Exactly. No, it's
The Bricklink
really
program,
important.
the Bricklink program is a different part. It's something totally different.
Yep, exactly. And because, like you've mentioned to me, Lego, they have their constructs and constraints that they have to meet that the Bricklink designer program doesn't have to. And of course, since you're a fan designer, you just practically don't know necessarily all the constraints that they have when you're designing this Goonies set.
Yes.
Now that you'll be working with them and they'll be designing this, you'll be able to follow along with all those. And hopefully, as fans, we voted for this. And so we want something as close to this as possible. And I can only imagine, because of how important the Goonies is, that they will strive to reach something as close to this as they can, of course, within the constraints of Lego and what they need to make sure, whether it's the structure, whether it's the durability, just the overall ease of building it together is just all different important things, and the instructions and all that stuff that has to be met.
When I designed that, you asked me something. What I believe when I design, because I don't have time and I'm not very good with the techniques, Lego techniques. I mean, so when I design, I have the feeling, because I do nothing. I have the feeling if they win the booby trap, it works. For me, something I believe some I don't know something, but I believe it must work. Some of the booby trap, like you put something like this and have a little mechanism and something
It
happen.
falls, yeah.
Yes, I believe it's a very good idea,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he needed to have this mechanism part.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that keeps it kind of engaged with the whole family, like you mentioned earlier. All ages can enjoy this thing, which is something that's very important to Lego. They're not as much as maybe we wish they were. They're not all about making stuff for adults. So the kids can definitely enjoy this. But I would be curious, actually, just based on the pure monstrosity of this, I feel like it would it not be an 18 plus? I'll have to look up what the Lego D&D set is, the age range, if it's like 14 or 16. Okay, that one's 18 plus. Obviously not legally enforced to only 18-year-olds and older, but yeah, it's interesting to think about.
Actually, it's a company, and if they want something big, they put it something big.
Yeah. Hey, very simple, very correct way to look at that. Oh man, let me go back to this design. So something that I always appreciate with every single one of your design submissions, whether it's Bricklink or Lego Ideas, is, and of course the video that I've had in the background of basically this entire stream, is the fact that you have these amazing animations in Lego or Studio animations. Like, how much work goes into putting those together? Because I feel like part of the struggle of getting even into the Lego Ideas as a 10K submission is you have to make it palatable and very easy to digest, and these things do just that. So kind of talk us through that process of helping us as the voter figuring out where we need to put our votes.
how I work with everything you mean.
Exactly.
Okay. Actually, the first part is an idea. The second part is the design. After I finish the design, I go to the Blender part. I put the light, I put everything. Maybe not only the Blender. I go to the Unreal Engine. Go here, go there, go everywhere.
Hey, yeah, that's what it takes sometimes.
And it's a long process because I must extract many things from the Lego and put it in the other program. In the other program, I put lights, I put color. I must fix the material. I must fix the camera. I must fix the animation. And yes, it's a long process. It's a long process, and I have some bad memories because I have why many. I remember my first Lego idea is a Edward Scissorhand castle from Tim
Mm-hmm.
Burton, and
Mm-hmm.
back then they don't inside of the Lego idea side, they don't exist. You type the idea and Lego said if you allow there, if not allowed. They don't have something like that. You must type email if have an idea, and they said if you allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see the Lego idea first time, I have the idea of the Edward Scissorhand. I work like 2 months, and when I put it, they don't allow.
Oh no. Oh, that must have been awful.
I render, I have everything. Fix it, I have
Oh.
everything. And what happened? My second idea, it's a speed bike of the Star Wars.
Yep.
And when I finished, I render, I have everything. And when I put it on next day before, they said in the Lego idea, we don't allow Star Wars.
Because they
Even
did
my
for the longest time. They allowed Star Wars.
yes, yes,
Not like
yes,
they were ever gonna choose it, but they allowed it to be submitted.
yes, yes. Now they don't allow.
Yeah.
And the strange, I can tell you one strange story I have with the 80s challenge.
Mm-hmm. One moment. One moment, chat. We'll
In
get
the
there.
Night Rider.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Knight Rider with
Sorry?
the 80s challenge.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Do you know the Night Rider TV series?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Before this contest, before this contest, it allowed to submit Night Rider. After this contest, they don't allow Night Rider
Uh-oh.
submission. And it's very strange because I believe Knight Rider it's coming out because
Something's
yes,
coming soon. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, yes. It not makes sense why
Yeah.
they don't allow suddenly they don't allow.
Hmm. Hey. Yeah. I mean, yeah, oftentimes that'll be the dead giveaways. We're not Lego doesn't necessarily give us a lot of forewarning with what's coming in the future, but I mean, and that's you have to give them Lego a hand because they're saving a lot of people time because it'd be a real shame if someone out there like you did, you spent so much time designing this set, and it'd be a shame if someone spent all this time designing a set just to have it be canned because of something coming out in the future. So no, but it's always interesting. It's always fun to speculate about what's coming in the future. So that's always cool. But, you know, some people in the chat, they're huge fans of these animations. Liam says this video looks so professional, and Liam, he does this for every single, like he said, he does this for every single design that he submits, whether it's to the Lego Ideas program, whether it is to the Bricklink Designer program, like we see here with this challenge. And it's really great because, like I said, it helps us as the voter really see what is in your mind. Because in all reality's sake, someone doesn't have to put a ton of work into a submission. They can build something. They could have built a very, very rough ship with bricks that they own and submitted it. And it is I believe it's a valid submission. But doing this, going the extra mile, is just, it's the cherry on top. It separates it
Thank you.
separates the designers that are really on that level, which is always really, really cool
I,
to
I
see.
try I try to communicate what I have in my mind. Actually, this is I
Mm-hmm.
try to to put everything I have in my mind to the
Yeah.
screen, and the video and all this stuff. I believe it is very important
Mm-hmm.
to put out in this and to give the people what I have in my mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's absolutely amazing. And whenever this does come out, I cannot wait to see it on the store shelves, because I know, like we've talked about over the past year at this point, which is crazy in and of itself to think about, dude. Whenever your design finally hits the shelves or hits whether it was the Bricklink pre-order or the Lego Ideas, I'm there. I want to be the first one in line to pick this set up. So I cannot wait. To see this one on the shelves.
If you remember, because I like you, and I tell you, if I win, you are the first interview, and you tell me, okay, if you want it. So
oh, 100%,
I keep my promise.
Yes, yeah. In case anyone in chat was wondering, this would have been probably back in April, honestly.
Yes.
With when you first submitted this design, and you said, "Hey, if I win this challenge, you're going to be the first interview that I want to do with this set," which I'm absolutely honored to be the first truly exclusive interview. Sometimes I like to throw buzzwords around like that, but this is truly the first exclusive designer interview for this Goonies set, which is just absolutely amazing. So can
I ask you something?
Yes.
In the community, because you are living in America. When I ask about the Goonies, what they said, the oldest guy, about the Lego set?
Yeah, so my understanding is the Goonies is just absolutely. I'm trying to think of a franchise or a fan community that I can compare it to, but it seems to be its own thing. But specifically in that age range of people that grew up with this, it's just like I'm dropping everything I'm dropping everything to go get this thing. I'll do whatever it takes to. It's kind of like that. The people that are devoted, the dense group of people that are devoted, are just 110% devoted. So it's really cool to see. And then people like I think we've seen a couple people in chat. What was it? Elith Morrison, I think if I'm reading that correctly, said a little bit ago, let me find it. I'm wearing a Goonies t-shirt right now. I supported it. Me and my dad both supported this submission, which is really cool to see. Yeah, Liam's out there 110%. He's one of those 110% people. So, and I'm sure once we, and this isn't a surprise for you at all, but once we finally get to those parts where we start getting those very early or official images as early as we possibly can, that's when the true community is going to come out, and really you'll be able to really see, like, all right, these are the people that are hyped about this set. And I feel like that's for you and me, at least for this, that'll be our next step of, all right, we've got the first Lego Ideas interview. Then once we get to that, pictures are on the Lego stinking website. That's going to be so crazy.
Yes, actually, it's crazy. It's big because when you win, maybe I come in your country. You know that now.
Ooh, that'll be super exciting.
Because maybe I can for the sign booth.
Is there? Yeah, where would you get invited to various Lego stores to do signings at various Lego stores? Is that how that works out?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you come to Chicago, if you go to the Chicago Lego store, I will do my best to be the first in line, because let's see, it's either the Chicago Lego store or the Grand Rapids, basically any Lego store in that area. I'll put out my calendar. I'll make it happen no matter what.
After that, we go to the beers.
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%. Oh man, that'll be awesome. So yeah, you kind of mentioned what has really been different? Has there been any just standout things that have happened in the last week and a half since you've won? Whether it's, I think, like Lego commenting on your Instagram post, like things like that you can share with us, that's just mind blowing.
Yes, actually, I'm when the announcement happened when I'm on vacation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and in the first day, I have my phone and I see the notification, something like I I put the notification button and to see it, and every time it's like nine, see, 9 plus, 9 plus, 9 plus, 9 plus.
Okay. Yeah.
I put 9 plus, 9 plus in
Yeah.
the Instagram, the Facebook. I laughing and I try to answer each one, and it's unable. It's not happened. So I must put a video and tell people how I think a lot, and I am
Mm-hmm.
unable to write each one because I try, but because I have a lot of thought how I answer each one. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, I put a video, okay, and I remember this day especially because I buy this T-shirt I have, and I have a pirate hat, and
Yeah.
I paint a huge black um, fabric
Fabric.
like a
Yep.
pirate, and I dress like a pirate because
Yep.
I live my dream like a child, not like an adult, because it's my childhood with an adult. Okay, so when I win, many things happens. It's
Mm-hmm.
very huge, and in one night I one day go to the cinema with my friends, and when at the night when I go to the home, I see a notification in my Instagram, and I see a notification from Lego. And I see what happened. I know Lego. It's not right, people. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
This notification very beautiful and unique because I write when I win. I write. I have a lot of. I have a lot of thought and a lot of memory of my childhood. Past because when I design something, I have a lot of memories. I have my memories to drag into
Mm-hmm.
how I design something. So my memory is very important to me,
Yeah.
and I try. And when I see the Lego comment above of this message, it's something very special, very unique for me. Lego,
Absolutely.
it's very rare to write in one guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm trying to think of. Maybe I couldn't put a finger on the exact post it was on, but yeah, no, Lego doesn't drop comments on just anyone's
Yes,
post, so that's really really special
yes,
uh,
yes,
to to have that a notification like that pop up
yes.
in your on your Instagram.
It's unique. It's unique,
Yes, yes, very very special.
and
Well,
I like
any.
it. Sorry, and I liked it a lot to put this notification in my letters, not in
Mm,
not in the design photos, but in my
right.
letter.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. So as we wrap up, since we've been going for almost an hour and a half, as we wrap up, any kind of final thoughts about the design, about this experience so far, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks you can start working with the Lego Ideas team, and how much I can only imagine how fun that's going to be for you. So any final thoughts as we walk through this?
Really, because it's something very unique, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. Really, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have had a huge happiness. And my efforts. Many time of the day I'm laughing at home because I'm very happy. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it's going. How how what they ask me, for example. I
Yep.
don't know nothing.
Yep.
I don't know nothing. It's a start. I'm very excited about this, really, because I waited a lot of years, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very important to me. And I feel all this. I have so much feeling for everything, for from my design, from my memory, from everything. So at the end, uh, I don't know nothing now, but maybe if we came after 1 year, I can tell a lot of things because now it's the start. It is a start.
Yes, just yeah, like you said, you're just starting. Hopefully soon, and hey, yeah, like you said, it's you don't know what you don't know, and
Yes,
once you know, then you'll know, and you'll be able
yes,
to share
yes.
uh, whatever you're able to share at the end of the process, of course, and we'll be able to finally see the final product. But man, I'm so happy for you. I can honestly say you deserve this. You've earned this. Worked so hard for this over the last several years, almost 10 years. And to finally, like you said, to have a submission chosen like this, that's kind of a perfect intersection of so many things that are very personal to you, just I feel like makes it all that more special and more important.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
Actually, I can tell that when I have the when I talk with Lego, I say that I have many years with failures. Okay,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
the most important with a failure, it have good friends and people to tell you
yes,
keep going,
yes,
because many times you are tired. Many
mm-hmm,
times you feeling like a hidden wall again and again and again and again, and you wonder if you are good enough
mm-hmm,
or have many thought if I can continue or maybe I stop, because I see a lot of people on these 8 years to stop. They stopped to doing something like that.
yeah,
You must keep to chase your dream. This is the you have a lot of failures, okay,
mm-hmm,
but you don't if you believe it, chase it.
100%. Could not have said it better myself. And hey, how perfect is it? Goonies never say die.
Yes, yes, actually, yes.
You in your design process, in your design portfolio, you didn't stop. And I yeah, you said it perfectly. I if you would have stopped just maybe whether your design just before this, whatever it was, if you would have said that's it, I've tried so many years but didn't make it, I'm done, we wouldn't be here today. And
Yes,
how cool
actually,
that
yes.
is. How
Yes.
cool. Oh my goodness, just so
When
perfect. Such an amazing. Uh,
yes, when but because when you win, you remember all the failures,
mm-hmm.
but the failures is the steps
Yes.
to be to reach something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You
Learning,
must
learning on
yes,
your past experiences, just learning from
yes,
your failures is so
yes,
important, and true for any. Not obviously not just true for designing Lego. It's true for every aspect of your life.
yes, yes. Because
Yeah.
many people say, "Oh, Lego, they don't pick me." Oh, it's about they. No, Lego, it don't have personal to no one. It is only if they want the design. It's about the
Yeah.
time. It's about
Yep.
the time. If you fit the time, the correct
Mm-hmm.
time, and you must have a good design.
Yes.
Okay, but it must work everything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult. It's extremely difficult because many days when I win, I realize this win. It's about only 67 people in the earth.
Yep.
It's,
It's a very limited, yeah, like you said,
yes,
very limited crew. Not easy. Not
not
easy.
easy, but you must try. You must try, and
Mm-hmm.
it's design. Many days I go to my submission, my old submission, as you mentioned, and I see how many problems they have now because I have the eyes and I have
Mm-hmm.
the experience. Why it's not so good,
Yeah.
and not only the design and the idea itself, it's not good
Yep.
because I have the experience to see now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like no doubt, experience that took years to
Yes,
grow, years to fashion, and yeah, certainly true across all kind of aspects. If you're trying to reach something, reach a goal, you're not gonna get there overnight. I'm not gonna get there overnight. It takes hard work, takes a lot of time, effort, passion, which hey, work towards it, push towards it. And even if for anyone out there, even if you don't reach necessarily your goal, as long as you're learning to get to that next step, that's honestly, in some extent, more valuable than reaching a goal that you may have put out there. Was just to continue to learn is something that's so valuable. So that's my 2 cents on that pep talk. But once again, as we wrap up, it's just so great to relish in this moment with you, to celebrate this with you, this design, and how cool it is to remember that this is just the beginning. Because a lot of times when you celebrate such a big win with this, that's the end, and there's really nothing past that. But for you, this is just the beginning. So cool. So cool.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
All right. So chat, if you have any final questions, it looks like you've all been hanging in there, which has been awesome. We'll wrap it up and very likely see you all next week. Make sure you check out Delusion Brick. He's on YouTube, which I had the video scrolling in the background. He is on Instagram, and of course, find his Lego Ideas submission, and you can also follow him on Lego Ideas platform as well. So make sure you follow him. Support him in the future endeavors as well. If you like this design, certainly I can only imagine you will like a handful of his other designs. So thank you so much for joining me in this first exclusive interview, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon in the weeks and months to come. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.